Today we'll talk about so many things, but it's very important, very important. Okay, now what? See here, it's a box, right? What we have to talk about? Talk about thumbnails. You see it on the left side of my screen, right? It's named thumbnails. Thumbnails, it's actually drawings with a small size, with like a size of the nail on the thumb, right? Thumb. It could be bigger, of course, not like really just like this size. But it's idea. It's your idea. That's your plan. What you will do. You see here, before I start to do this scene, I have to plan what will happen with that box. Like a normal position, anticipation, squash, stretch, thrust up, right? Flying in the air, up in the air, slow in, slow out, drops down, squash again, just a jump or kind of jump off the ground from the left corner to the right corner and back to the first one. That's what it is. You see, it's actually honestly great animators all the time. They're using thumbnails, and I would say 80% or maybe even more, the best animators, they plan their scene, which means they start to do the scene with thumbnails. Number two, it's about how you start this one. You have to work with perspective. You see here, first work with perspective. It's very important. It's a 1 point perspective. You have to put 1 point is like it's a horizon here. See, it's a horizon, right? 1 point. You build everything. It's connected to the has parts, all that parts of this box. It's easy way to build that way. Okay, and when you animate it, you have to think this way, because if I flip for you, you see here, I always thinking what's happened with that flats, with the border of the shape, with the corner, with everything. So now, like I said, first thumbnail, very quick. I know it's short, very short session. It's like 1 hour, but in a real life, you have to think first. You have to imagine what you will do in a real life, real animation. You have to imagine what you will do. And what's happened with your character, what character will do, what his attitude. Like this box is a really happy guy, happy-go-lucky guy. And work with perspective. Squash and stretch. This about squash and stretch too. You see, it's really big squashes, big stretches. See, and drops down, squash again, recoil, right? Recoil, down again. This is a very subtle squash, but when character lose, or character in this case, it's a character and at the same time it's a box, right? It starts with a big jump, right? Lots of energy. When he lost energy, his squashing is less than the first one, right? It all the time. Same principle with pendulum too. It feels like a pendulum. First swing is a big, but if you not, press that or just not thrust this, pendulum starts, making smaller swings and shorter and stop completely, right? Same thing here too. You start from big one, smaller one, and very subtle here, you see. That's a principle of a good timing, like pam, 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 pam. That's a music. Timing actually very similar to good music, Music kinda not like music, pop music, right? But kinda like a jazz, jazz, dum dum da 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 da, sound like that. Always variations. So anyway, squash and stretch. You see here, timing, and timing. Weight. We're talking about weight. How much weight you can put in this character. If you do this more here, and you will show this as more here, like this, that will be lots of weight. It's same here too. When the character drops, you see, I almost, I squashed him completely flat to show his weight still continue push him down. Got it? And immediately, this is snap. You see the snap around this? Snap like this. That's a snap. So snap right away. No in-betweens. You see, right away. Pam. Slow down. Goes down. Touch the ground. Contact. You see, it's very subtle squash. Stretch. Bouncing again. squash here, very subtle squash, and back. That's basically it. Okay, mass. What about mass? Mass is probably one of the important thing to draw character and to feel what's happened with the mass. All these box, it's like a clay, clay. In a clay, it's very elastic, right? In the same time, it has some borders because it's box, it's not real clay. But you have to work like clay with clay. That's the point. And like I said, and the last thing, and probably not, at least not last, it's a human-like character. You have to put human-like character, any animated character, like this box is not real human, but you have to think that's like a human being. Always thinking we have to find some analogy, some simulation with human character. In that case, that will be interesting to watch it. Basically it, right? Now I'll talk about flats. See flats? If you see flats here, hold on. You see flats, it's kind of pushing. If you see from the top, yeah, it's pushing. It was like this, right? From the top. And somebody's pushing down everything. See, it's pushing this way, you see? Pushing this way. And you have to think about what's happened with flats. I always recommend thinking of flats. Always thinking of flats. Because in animation, white basically shows the circle, right? Or balls. Yeah. People thinking this is just a circle, not a balls. Because it's hard to feel that's real circle, right? Nose and so on. But it's way easier if you thinking this way, right? Because in that case you have to imagine where is the middle of the ball, right? Where is his front of the ball, kind of flats, right? See the flat here, front flat, and the nose. It's way easier to feel what's going on. After that you can just, make it softer, make it more roundish. That's why, okay? That's why.
Nice.
It's a really good example how to think in animation in the easiest way. It's not only for animation, but mostly for animation, it's easiest way to feel what's going on with the character. Flats of everything, like a body too, right? If body, you think this box here, right? Connect to the box here. Box here. And later you just, add some meat on the top of this, right? That's what it is, thinking by flats or off flats. Yeah, also you can see numbers here. Numbers, key, of course, number one, right? Think how far and how high this character jumps. That's why I mentioned this is a squash here at the top. First, doing, like I said, big gestures. It has small gestures like bouncing, right? Everything. That's a small gesture. Big gesture is, of course, way in how character jumps, how high. Yeah, to here or to here. It depends. Question, how high? It's not necessary to jump so high. It could be even jump only on that level. But that's important thing. That's number one. That's key number one and key number two. And after that you decided it falls this way or this way or maybe just straight. It's up to you. It's a lots of variations you want to do. You can, yeah, actually can even, bouncing this way too. Bouncing this way or bouncing this way. Yeah, the ground, that's the ground. That's basically it. I believe you can start it. So thinking about a really good idea, thinking about big gesture, like from here to here, how much? Usually, like I said, 17 frames, you see 17 frames. It sometimes could be even 25, which is 1 second, right? Usually you have to understand, you have to remember that to see something happen, to see the gesture, to see what's going on, you need at least 12 frames. 12 frames from the bottom to the up, at least. If it's faster, I will not feel what's going on because I'm an audience, right? I'm a person who actually want to see what's going on. You know when you do this, but I don't. And I need at least 12 frames, which is a half a second. Think this way, okay? Could be more, could be like 17, could be 25, could be even more, could be 30. Maybe just jump or turn around, whatever. Flipping around. I think that's it what I want to talk about. About his face, it's not necessary to do at the beginning. I always prefer and always recommend to do a main shape first, body language, which is just box, right? When you do box, you will feel flats, and when you finish everything, you can put on the top of the flat all details like eyes, mouth shape, and whatever. Yeah, and like I said, it's not necessary to do timing like I show. I could be, even slower, like pum, 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 like this. It's more you show the extremist poses, extremist points. It's more contrast will you will have. Try to do that. Any questions?
When the box does the last bounce, should it also be at least half a minute to see, or it can be faster?
Half a minute? That's too long. You mean half a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be like this. Pum, you see? It could be, maybe even, I don't know, it feels like even 16 frame. It depends what you want to show. Always think this way. You have to work, you have to play like you're an actor, If actor wants to show like, yeah, I want to show you like that and more and more. The same way with animation. You're an actor. If you wanna push this way or emphasize certain gesture or so a certain point of your animation, you have to show it. You have to show it. Of course, it needs to be more in betweens, right? More drawings. That's exactly what you have to do. In my case, all scene is 50, let's say 53 because 54 it's number one because it's a cycle, you see. Any more questions? Silence. Always said. Or everything is clear, or it's very foggy. Nobody understands everything. So
It's all clear.
clear. Okay. Yeah. If you see, of course, it has to be a rough drawing. Don't be worried about lines. See, I always prefer and I always draw very rough. Not rough, not especially rough, but it's kind of loose. You draw very light and don't try to be tight. It's very important. Start. Okay, Alena, I can see your screen now.
Yesterday it was an opposite.
Yeah. You're talking about cursing, right? Or payback, revenge from yesterday.
Yeah.
Just small suggestion to anyone, okay? Less lines. Don't put so many lines. It saves you time, okay? Few lines, only few lines. Like this, yeah, that's enough. Same with Mo, same with Alena.
I've got a question. If it's the squashed, face, which key is it?
You mean squash where? In the back?
The first squash.
And what a question about squash?
Yeah, which key is it? It's better.
Yeah, when you do that squash, you need to, feel like it's like I said, like a clay, You can lose straight lines, not completely straight lines, you see, that's important thing. And it could be, let's say, a really big squash, or could be just very subtle, just try to do that. But like I said, avoid to do straight lines all the time, you see, because it has a mass inside. You see, you have to feel mass. If I understand your question right, draw first key clearly, sharp, and pronounce well. First key first. Okay. I suggest to do this a bit lower because it's no space enough for jump. up. You see, your first key is too high. Yeah, make it slower. Yeah, that's good. Perspective point. Perspective point. Yeah, straight lines to the corners. Straight, straight. No, to the point. To the point. Not like parallel. You did almost parallel. Yes. Vladlena, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Less nervous, you know? Yeah, cool down. Because I see how you
Okay.
draw. You're kind of nervous. Don't be worried. Yeah.
No, I just try to imagine the turn in the air, and I have some problems with perspective. But
Yeah,
I
but like
figured
I
it out.
said, yeah, when you draw the corners, right? You just connect corner to the point, and that's it. You will get anything. Yep, exactly. That will be bottom. Corner, corner. It's not really quite corner. Where's your corner? Or it's not box, because it doesn't look like a box now. You see, box has a square flat, front square flat.
Yeah, I see it. Again, I try to do a turn, but I have problem because when it's turning, it starts to be not 1 point perspective, isn't it?
No, 1 point. Easy. Don't don't make hard life. Okay, anyway, look at this. That's a point, okay? Horizon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this, right? That's the shape. Oh, that's just like a front flat, right? You see here? You see
Yes.
here? You see?
But if I want to turn it, it would be too hard, yes or not?
No, that's
Can I turn?
that's it.
Can
That's
I?
it. What?
Okay.
That's so simple. I don't know what's good. I don't know why it's so hard. Yeah, if you go up, you see, go up. Just go up, right? Okay, go like this. See? That's it.
No, I understand this, but if I would like to turn it, for example, on Z, like in space, it stopped to be 1 point perspective, yes? Or
Yes,
not?
still 1 point
Oh.
perspective. Yes. Yeah, no, if you want a 2 point perspectives, it will actually, you need to, when you turn, right, this way, yeah, and like this, right? If you want to do this, yeah, you need second point, right? But you need the second really rarely, but mostly you need only one, see, or like this. Make it easy, don't make it hard. Okay?
Okay.
Easy way, easy.
To complicate things, we all love
Yeah,
to.
don't do complicate. Also, just I see what you guys doing and how you draw. One good point, you know, I see like this. You draw like this. Don't do like this. Just like this. Pum, 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 pum. That's it. Okay, just like this. Don't go, go. No, don't do that. Save your time, save your energy, plus your attention. You know, you lost your attention when you draw like that. I know simple is not easy, it's hard, but you need to try. What I really like about what I see, you draw lightly, which is really good, you know, you don't push too much on a pencil. Alena, it's nice, it's funny, it's funny.
Thank you.
Actually, Vladina too, really good. Just need to be more, like I said, how it's going, more loose too. Don't be nervous. Everything is fine with you. More, it's funny too. It's funny shapes. Animation is about unpredictable thing. That's which I like this too. Connected lines, please. Always connected. Don't be worried. You can always erase it. Also, I would like to say something about principles, right? You can use one important principle. It's called principle of three, whereas first contact the ground, squash, and bouncing off. That's a principle of three. Same with the toughest position, upperst position, when is character enter to the extreme point and exit from extremist point. That helps you to feel slow in, slow out, and to feel weight. That's important thing. If you forgot to put some, I would say, center of weight, just put this back. It helps you to control what's happening with the box or the character, whatever. Flip more helps you to feel what's going on with the movement. If you're flipping, you don't just draw, but when you flip, you will feel it's right or not right. It's connected. Like I said, animation is a chain of drawings, and every link it's a drawing, single drawing. Every previous link supposed to be hooked with the next one. That's the principle. That's why you need to flip all the time, flip more and more. I will open you a small secret. It's not necessary to move character so widely move, which like a what's called broad animation, right? The distance or spacing doesn't need to be so wide. You can, just move slightly, subtle animation. Save your time and make its precise drawings way easier than just move character all around the space of the frame. That's what I recommend. The distance between the beginning and the end of the character moves doesn't need to be so wide, so big. That's what I recommend. Just in the next thing, think that way that the character who is not moved so much, we will see the emotion of the character. But when character moves so much, so broad, we will see only mechanics. We will see dynamic of the movement, not emotion. Also, I recommend to distort character a reasonable way. Don't do character which is always look like a pain for him. Some kind of borders. Try to keep some borders of the distortion. Because it's a razor blade principle, but try to do that kind of reasonable distortion. Okay, I think we're done for today. Let's see what you have. First, of course, here you have the time, actually, if possible, for you today to finish that stuff. But our session today is finished. Let's look what you have more first. Let's look what you have. Yeah, basically you understand what's going on and how to do that. The only thing I recommend, like I said, don't break the lines, okay? Number one. Number two, can show you, okay, easy. So, like I said, even you draw a free in easy, right? Always connect the lines, you see? Connect the lines, connect the lines. Not like something like this. Connect. Even it could be more than real one, you see, but don't be worried. You always can erase this one. Okay, that's actually recommendation for all of you guys. Number two, more. I see when you do squash or whatever, any distortion, you have to feel kinda, like I said, it's still box, it still needs to be filled box, you see, not just completely like this, This one, what I recommend, if you do that way, right, the accent in the middle is not good. If you do that one, accent is lower than in the middle, you see, right here, on 1/3 of the shape. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Lines, you can even not even connected, but can go further, right? Don't be worried. That's about connection lines, right? I'm talking about if you do some kind of squash, don't do just like this, like this. It doesn't look like a box anymore, right? It needs to be with corners, you see? And like I said, avoid accent in the middle. Yeah, accent always some kind like this, 1/3. You see 1/3 here. Feels kind of stiffness. Yeah. Also, I said like it has to be a reasonable distortion. When distort like this, kind of, kind of like that. It's lost kind of solidity. It's lost. Could be maybe if of course, if he is dying, right?
And
kind
all
of
box.
dying. Yeah, could be. But if you lost his elastic feelings, solidity, you lost the feelings that has some kind of energy inside the character. Think about this too. Okay. Yeah, and don't afraid to rough it. It could be really rough. It could be really, really rough. Yeah, if possible, please continue. Alena, now it's yours. Okay.
Okay.
Alona, it's funny, really funny. Just for the very beginning, when you start to do this, when you do some kind of straight ahead animation, you see that your character is getting bigger, right? It's growing, see, or swallowing, whatever. That's why, because you're doing like a straight ahead, one after one. Yeah, if you just try to do keys, it's easy to correct them, to keep them in the same shape, same amount of mass. But it's funny. Also, what I recommend, yeah, that's the principle of his face. That's a flat, right? And on a flat, it's gonna draw this, whatever, like this. But what's happening if flat kinda like, squashed, right? Squashed. And everything is squashed too, see? It's kinda like this. See? Yeah, kind of like this, that shape. Or when it's stretched, it's stretched like this too, right? Because everything is stretched. Yeah, that's a good thing to remember, because if you do character, and when you do character, you will use this principle. Principle, like I said, it's kind of like a clay, right? Soft clay. I like that character is really funny. He's doing what's good about funny, it's some stupid stuff, you see. When character doing stupid stuff, it's always nice to see that. Yeah, please try to finish this, okay? And try to tighten it down. I said, check the sizes, right?
Yeah,
Everything.
I will.
And now, Vladlena, I cannot see your animation. Okay, your animation, please. Okay. Yeah, the same thing like this. I told before to Alona. You see the shape is changed. Bigger, smaller, because you try to make a
Yeah,
straight
it was
ahead.
worse. I already tried to fix it, but it's not enough now. Yes. Okay.
What I really like, it's you try to build perspective, which is real nice. And also to all of you guys, if you see here, timing, it's very even, like pom, 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 right? Try to find some important points, show them more, longer. And again, to everyone too, don't think animation is like a really move wide, so wide and a big distance. No, don't think that way. I'm talking about you usually do, right? When you do, you usually move like this, up to here, right? You just look this. Way too much. It could be even, like I said, could be even like this. That's enough. You have lots of abilities for good playing, can turning, you see, kind of like this, can kind of like squash that way, see, instead of just jump so
Yes.
high. That's why it's hard to see emotion movement.
I just had this idea with like small warm-up jump and the big one with turn, but my turn was too complicated, so I didn't do it.
That's why. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, subtle animation is hard, but it's better to try to do or to go this way to make
Okay, we'll try it.
more subtle. Like I said, always when you guys doing animation anyway, like a box, like a pendulum, right, or whatever, you have to put some human character inside of this character. Always. Behind that image, you have to feel that's some guy like this. Alona did, right? Alona, kind of character who has some kind of personality, see? That's it for today. Yeah, I wish you can finish it and send it to me. That's what I believe we will do.
Should we put our works in the folder straight after the class, or we can fix it, work on it, and then by the end of the course we can
Yeah,
send it on?
sure. Yes, because in the very end of that course, we will talk personally to each other about achievements, right? Your achievements. That's a good idea, put in a one big folder, right? Yeah, collect that. Most definitely. Yes, good question. And also I recommend when you watch your stuff, watching is more and more you will see your mistakes easily, because if you're watching like, let's say 2, 10, maybe 20 times, that's not enough. maybe your eye is not, or tight, is not really can see obvious mistakes in that time. But like maybe in a couple hours you'll watch this again and say, oh my God, why I did like this? Why I do like this? Something like that. That's it for today. See you tomorrow. And if you have time to finish, no, at least work on that assignment for today, that would be great. Good luck.